Should the Cowboys make Dak the highest paid quarterback in the league?
Absolutely, and it's for a couple reasons. I think reason number one is this. Look at what Dak did statistically last year. He was top 3 in the league in passing yards, led the league in passing touchdowns, top 3 in QBR. So statistically, from what you saw last season at a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, he was outstanding. We just talked about it. He was second runner-up in the MVP voting. Could have won MVP. That's part one. But part two, if you're Dallas, the reason you should pay Dak now is that if you don't pay him now, that price is going to go up later. We've seen how astronomically the price for quarterbacks has risen over the last, call it a year. If Dallas decides to wait and lets Dak play another, maybe it's an MVP or close to MVP season, that price that you'd pay now will be significantly lower than you would pay in the future. And so, number one, he deserves it. Number two, you don't want to wait. And number three, if you don't stick with Dak, who are you going to go to next that can give you the same sustained success that you've seen from Dak over the last several years? And so, for me, those are the many reasons why you should have Dak be the highest paid quarterback right now. You definitely don't want to wait.
Well, Sam makes some great, giving us great knowledge on Dak. But here's the problem with Dak. He's won 2 playoff games. That's real. And when you're the quarterback, it doesn't matter how many games you win in the regular seasons, it's what you do in the playoffs. You know, Dak Prescott is almost sitting in the same seat Tony Romo sat in. Tony Romo was a heck of a quarterback. But when it got to the playoffs, they fell short. And Jerry right now, the way the Dallas Cowboys generally do things, they offer you early. If you don't take their money, they're not renegotiating. Jerry's in a point now in his career as an owner, he's looking at this team, not only at Dak, but all the other stars on this team and asking himself this question. If they don't make it this year, I'm probably going to blow this thing up and start over. And you say, who are they going to get? They're going to go get a rookie quarterback. And they're going to start over. That's what you do if you're the Dallas Cowboys. It's been 29 years. Jerry says it every time he comes on television. I hear this voice in the wilderness. Yeah, 29 years ago. That's the voice. You haven't been back. And that's the problem that Dak Prescott has.
Here's the problem, though, with that. And Coach, I see where you're coming from because that's where we criticize Dak for what he has not done in the postseason. He's 2-5. But I'm looking at the guys who are the top paid quarterbacks at the position. And I'm looking at Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. They got 2 Super Bowl appearances between them. And then beyond that, Dak in the playoffs has a better quarterback rating than all of them with the exception of Burrow. I understand that we are all critical of Dak Prescott, and I understand why. He's the Cowboys quarterback. He's going to draw that attention. But I also think you don't know what you got till it's gone. And it's easy to sit here and say, we can move on next year. We can blow this whole thing up. But Jerry's, if he really does care about winning, even winning his way, he's a little further down the line right now. And he's been operating as such over the last several years. So what is my best opportunity to win? I can win with Dak Prescott. I have to believe that when, as Sam pointed out, we all seem to forget he was second, although by a distance, in the MVP this past year. This is not a bad player. And we continue to make it out like he is a bad player. Is he great? I don't know if he's a great player, but with what the Cowboys have surrounded him with, they should be able to win. You make him the highest paid player, because what does that really mean? Because that's going to be passed as soon as Jordan Love signs his contract, and he will not be the highest paid player. It'll be like 6th on the list by this time next year, because we'll go through all these other quarterbacks who are going to get their money. I personally don't think that actually means anything at this point.
Yeah. Coach, I just want to ask you.
Here's
okay, go ahead.
Good.
Go, Coach.
Good.
No, here's the point. I just watched you guys talk about the Lakers. Right? And you talked about Golden State. Klay Thompson left. Right? He didn't want to go to the Lakers. And the Lakers are this franchise, this beautiful. Look, I'm a Laker fan. And you always talk about the Lakers. Well, right now, the Lakers got a problem, too. They were tied with the Celtics with 17 championships. The Celtics just won another one. Lakers got an issue. The Lakers just don't win games. They're supposed to win championships. Jerry Jones, in his heart of hearts, looks at his organization and says this: I got to win Super Bowls. They have fallen short. Somebody's going to get the blame for that. It's not going to be Jerry.
Acho, what were
But
you
coach,
gonna say?
I will say this. You've coached for decades, college, NFL, right? You've coached at a high level. If you had a quarterback like Dak Prescott, would you want to blow it up? Like it's like we're saying, let's blow it up and let's start over with a rookie quarterback. So many rookie quarterbacks have been unproven. So many rookie quarterbacks from a few years ago are either on the bench or they've been traded or they've been released. You have a proven commodity, a proven player who knows how to win. Some of those playoff losses were not Dak Prescott's fault. Some of those playoff losses were other people's fault within the organization. And so if you're a coach, you're saying, man, I know I got a guy who can play at the highest level. I would love to know, how willing would you be to blow it all up?
No, I would not. But here's the problem. All those stars that they have right now, they're all on their last year deal. So is the head coach. Jerry Jones is going to let this thing play out. He's not playing he's not going to keep the band together anymore. This is it. He's going to watch this thing and go, you know what? These guys couldn't get it done. Starts with my head coach, whether Mike McCarthy's to blame or not, and he is not, because he's a fine football coach. Is Dak Prescott the blame of this? No, he's not. He's a very good quarterback. We get that. They've got great players. But Jerry's been watching this as Jerry's getting older, and he said, you know what? I see the same song over and over. After a while, you just said, I'm going to go get me a young quarterback, bring some excitement back to the Cowboys organization. This team, he knows how to sell the Dallas Cowboys. We talk about the Dallas Cowboys every day on television.
Sam, I'm going to ask you this first. Should Dak sign a contract now, or should he wait and test out free agency?
Oh, he should absolutely wait. Beanie, my bad, Christine. Off TV nickname is Beanie, but I'm gonna call you Christine because people don't know your nickname.
Exactly.
He should absolutely wait, Beanie, because the reason is this: what we just talked about earlier, the salary cap is rising tremendously. What did we just see a few months ago? There was a bump up in the salary cap. Where does that money go? It ain't coming to me. It ain't coming to Carlin. Ain't coming to anybody on this screen. It's going to quarterbacks, not receivers. It's going to quarterbacks. And so if I'm Dak Prescott and I'm seeing the salary cap rise, if I'm Dak Prescott and I'm seeing the fact that, man, I just had an MVP caliber season. If I'm Dak Prescott and I'm seeing, man, my star receiver, CeeDee Lamb, we're still getting even a better connection. If I'm Dak Prescott and I know the talent I have on my team, and I know I can have success this year, why would I not wait and then see what happens, right? Jerry Jones wants to take a little bit of a risk and play the game, and let's see how it plays out. Sure, I'll play that game with you. I'll dance that dance with you. I'll play this thing out, have another 36 touchdown, 4,500 plus yard, top QBR season. I'll do all that. And then if you don't want to sign me, I'll pick 5, 6, 7 other teams that will want to sign me and will not only roll out the red carpet, but they'll bring out the bag to pay me handsomely for my services. So if I'm Dak Prescott, I absolutely want to wait, and I absolutely want to bet on myself.
I think Sam makes some great points there. And I think if you're Dak Prescott, you bet on yourself. And, what you do is you want to continue to be a Cowboy. Because if you win and you get to the playoffs and you win some playoff games, and lo and behold, if you win a Super Bowl, your life is set. You don't want to play for any other team in the league except for the Dallas Cowboys when you think about winning and winning playoff games and winning a Super Bowl. So if you're Dak and if you can pull this off and just play like the rest of these guys got to play this year, there's a lot of pressure on this Dallas Cowboys team. They understand. They're tired of falling short. But if you're Dak Prescott, you bet on yourself, go ahead and win it all, and then say, okay, now you really got to pay me.
You know what? I'll take it a step further. If I were Dak, I'd hold out right now. I would hold out right now. And now he made the comment, I don't play for money and all that a few months ago. That stuff goes by the wayside quickly. This is an owner who has never seemingly wanted to pay Dak. We think back to the beginning of his career and how well he played over the first 4 years, made him go on the franchise tag. Then put him on the franchise tag procedurally, gave him 4 years, $160 million. Now, continuing to wait until the very end to continue to drive you and make you prove yourself. Who else in the league operates like this? Nobody operates like this. They hand the money to help themselves out with the salary cap over to the quarterback, because in 3 years, whatever Dak gets right now is going to seem like a bargain. And they also put the team in a better frame of mind, understanding what this is. It's going to hang over the team all season long. So right now, Jerry is going to have CeeDee Lamb holding out for his money. We're going to have Micah Parsons still waiting for his contract, and Dak Prescott. You could argue the three most important Cowboys are not getting paid at this juncture. Why? If I'm Dak, I have the best leverage I will ever have right now. If I don't show up, your season's in flames. It's over. Cooper Rush, I mean, we're going to Trey Lance. What are we looking at here? Go get this done right now.
Jerry,
if you're Dak, don't wait anymore. Don't wait. Take some charge of the situation.
I gotta push back on that a little bit, Chris, for a couple reasons. Number one, Herm, give me 30 seconds. Number one, this is not the best leverage that Dak will have, right? If he's betting on himself, he believes that his leverage will be higher at the end of the season. So that's kind of part one. Dak may have better leverage in February of next year. Part one. Part two, yes, there's this idea of the stuff that we talk about, but there's also the court of public opinion. If Dak Prescott decides to hold out right now, the pendulum will swing out of his favor in the court of public opinion. People will say, Dak, what are you holding out for? You're getting paid $40 million, $50 million, or you're holding out for what? No, you have an opportunity to help this team win. Dallas Cowboys fans it's a rabid fan base. And so if he decides to take matters into his own hands by holding out, that would be the wrong decision in the court of public opinion. And then last piece is this. Sometimes you need to let things play out. I get that people can be excited about, man, okay, I got this leverage and that leverage. I'm going to do this and do that. Sometimes you just play the game. Play the game. In football, we say, let the game come to you. It's same in leverage and opportunities like this. Let the game come to you. You bet on yourself last year, it worked. You had an injury a few years ago, and you still got a new contract. So let the game come to you. I would not advise Dak by any means to hold out right now.
Yeah, and I think if you're Jerry and you look at the big picture here, Dak Prescott has a lot of similarities to Tony Romo. How Tony Romo played quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And that's the problem I think that Jerry's wrestling with right now. Is Dak Prescott, Tony Romo. He's going to win a lot of football games, but can't get me over the hump. And I think Jerry's at a point now, as an owner, he's looking at this thing. And winning, winning's important to him, but trophies, that big trophy is probably the most thing that Jerry wants in his lifetime going forward, because he understands how hard it is to get there. And he understands that, is Dak the guy to get me there? I don't know that.